Recognize a few people tonight, but that's not why we're here. We're here to recognize the entire team that has worked hard to make this happen. So one of the things that we're going to ask is over on that table over there, we have a poster board that we've set up that's for what we call, what do they call them? Unsung heroes. So what we want you to do is think about somebody that you know that is contributing at First Church, has been this year but also previously. And we'd like you to write a thank you note. We've got a bunch of colored pens over there where you say, I appreciate this person or whatever. And it would be kind of cool if we got everybody tonight. It would be nice if everybody here could think of somebody and we could not have one person overlooked. Probably impossible, and then we want to have that at coffee hour this tomorrow, and maybe we'll keep it there for a little while. So it's important to understand that it's the whole team of everybody. It takes a village, right? And so even though we're going to recognize some people tonight, we don't want anyone to be offended that has been contributing significantly to the church and didn't get talked about tonight. So that's important for us. So Robin is gonna start us off with her people that she wants to reflect on, and we've got a couple other presentations.
Thanks, Phil. First of all, there's so much to celebrate this year in terms of all of the things that we have done. But I want to thank, in particular, the treasures of the community auction team, who raised a whopping $20,000 for our church this year. Yes, and it wasn't just them that raised it, it was all of us who contributed to the auction. So thank you to the treasures team, to Phil Holman, to Linda Davis, to Ashley Edwards, to Joyce Mara, and especially to Jen Reich. And to everyone who bid on the items. Please will you stand up if you were on the Treasures of the Community Auction team so we can thank you. Thank you so much. I said Linda Davis. Janet Madison. I forgot Janet Madison. How could I forget Janet? Of course. I can never forget Janet Madison. And to everyone who bid on the items, our church thrives because of your commitment to this stewardship, and we are so thankful. Thank you so much. I actually just want to take a moment also to recognize the First Church staff, the people who staff the church. And we had a lot of transitions this year. So we were overjoyed to welcome Kristen Collins, Jen Colburn, and Stephanie Plant to our staff team this year. Would you stand up, please, Jen and Kristen? Kristen Collins, I know you all have met her by now. She has been working in the office during the week and on Sundays to provide administrative support to our church. She has turned this place into a well-oiled machine. Amen? She is an absolute joy to work with. She keeps us on track. She cares about our mission. She knows our congregation because she participates in it on Sunday mornings, which has been a revelation. And she loves Star Trek. Yes. She's a gamer. She's a millennial. She's everything that is right with the world. And her warmth, kindness, and competence have made her quickly beloved by all of us. We are so delighted to welcome Kristen Collins. Hooray! And then Jen Colburn, who's hardly new to any of us, right? Because she's a lifelong congregant at the First Church in Sterling. So how long has that been, Jen? How many years have you been at First Church?
30 years.
30 years, right? A lifelong congregant. Jen has ably led our mission team to the Dominican Republic for decades. She's served
three
with
decades.
3 decades, yes. She's served with our youth and pizza church on our Christian education ministry leadership team, and as a teacher at the Village Green Preschool. Like, she's done it all. And when our administrative assistant left this summer, Jen took over for him. And then when our associate pastor left, Jen took over as our Sunday school director as well. There is nothing this woman cannot do. And there is rarely a time when Jen is not in the building teaching and mentoring our youth, sorting clothes for La Romana, planning lessons, making food for events, the list goes on. Jen is always there to show up for every single one of us. And I'm so grateful for her constant support. Thank you so much, Jenny. We love you. Stephanie Plant, who is not here tonight because she's at a basketball tournament, was hired this fall to be our associate music director, organist, pianist, and bell choir director, and we couldn't be happier with her work. Yes, she is a beautiful musician, she's easy to work with, and the choir and bell choir adore her. She and Janet Coffin, our music director, work well together as their strengths complement each other's beautifully, and we are so lucky to have them as a team. Janet Coffin won the choir over last year with her warmth, sense of humor, steadiness, talent, and her willingness to record each vocal part's lines in every piece that they sing. When she was our associate music director, woo! Yes. And she immediately stepped up to serve as music and choir director when Abby Haynes left, and she is such a positive addition to our staff. She sight reads brilliantly and can find any piece of music we ask her to find, and the music she brings to the choir and the church is inspiring and effective, and we are so lucky to have Janetha. She's also not here tonight because she's away on vacation, but we love her in absentia. Hooray! Linda Davis, who is photographing me right now, is our videographer. Oh, she's videographing me right now because she's our videographer and our photographer, and has been a member of the First Church for at least 30 years. Yeah, okay. Almost 30 years. She was doing this work for free anyway for decades before the pandemic, and during the pandemic, as the church went more online, Linda stepped up to make sure that all of our services were videotaped and recorded for all to see. Also, the pictures she takes of our church will be archived forever, and she captures so beautifully the joy and the laughter and the children and all of the things that happen in our church, as you can see right here from the slideshow that we're watching right now. Linda is hardworking and seemingly unflappable and loves this church and its people with a passion, and you can see that in the photographs that she takes. Hooray for Linda! Tony Castagna, could you stand up, Tony? Who loves being the center of attention? Here's Tony. Tony is our sexton and resident plumber and fix-it guy. Us at all times. Tony will drop everything at a moment's notice to help everyone and anyone in the church. To fix a light bulb, to unplug a drain, I'm speaking for myself, to mow a lawn, to fix a clock, to set up for a funeral, or be a shoulder to cry on. He knows everything about everything in the building and makes it his mission to save us money on everything from fuel to pest control. Tony does everything with heart and humor, and he is everyone's favorite staff member, hands down. Give it up for Tony Castagna. Oh, and our beloved Kate Sheridan. I'm actually going to ask you to come forward, Kate. I'm sorry, Kate is leaving her position. That's why I'm asking her to come up. Kate Sheridan, who we hired to fill a gap left behind by our associate minister when he departed, has decided that this is a good time to explore her options in the acting field and have more time to do her first love, which is theater. And we have all benefited from her incredible theater direction because she has directed us since the moment she arrived at First Church, regardless of whether she was on staff. She puts on a mean Christmas pageant and an amazing confirmation service. Her last day as Youth and Adult Programs Director was this week, but Kate will still be with us on Sunday mornings and has agreed to lead, including tomorrow, and has agreed to lead a once-a-month youth group as a lay leader starting this fall. Excuse me. Kate has been such a gift in her role, taking on teaching confirmation class, leading pizza and donut church, crafting brilliant and creative children's messages for worship, and leading pub theology. Not to mention her skills as our worship vocalist and on the staff worship team. Kate is hilarious, talented, and wise, and such a dear friend to me and to all the staff, and we will miss her so much as a staff member, but we know we are not going to lose her. Sophia, do you want to add something?
Yeah, put me on the spot right now. Kate has been an absolute pleasure to work with. She has pulled together things that I could never imagine pulling together, and I could not have taken on the role as a leader in this church without you. So you will be dearly missed. And we kind of put this together for you. You can. It is, I did bubble wrap it so that it wouldn't break.
And it's so pink.
Of course.
Oh.
Sophia and I both love Taylor Swift very much, and it says, "I have the best day with you today," which is a lyric. So thank you guys so much for this.
Thank you so much, Kate. And I also want to call up here Karen Ormsby. Come on up, Karen. You're just sitting there. Come. Karen Ormsby is retiring from her role as director of the Village Green Preschool after 20 years of serving that school. Yes! And 5 years as its director, 5 of the hardest years at the Village Green Preschool, starting during 2020 in the pandemic, which was challenging to say the least. Karen said in a newsletter to families, many factors contributed to the difficult decision to leave the Village Green Preschool, a home I have loved for 20 years. My hair has become grayer, but it has been well worth it. I have adored each child who I have taught, each family that has come through these doors, each grandparent, aunt, uncle, and caregiver that has graced my life with their presence. Karen, thank you. Thank you for your passion, your commitment, and most of all for your love for some of our youngest and most precious people in our community, our most important people in our community. Thank you so much for serving with grace, with grit and hard work, and all that you have sacrificed, all the determination that you carry in your bones to give the Village Green Preschool's impactful legacy the love and care that it deserved during one of its most challenging seasons. You helped to build a world worthy of our children's promise for 20 years, and we have been truly blessed by your ministry among us. Cheers to your legacy and to rest and relaxation in these years to come. We are so grateful for you, Karen. Okay. And one more that I have to recognize. We have some more people, but I want to recognize Peter Rizak. Would you come on up here, please, Peter? Come on. This is my friend Pete. I haven't even seen you tonight. Hi, sweetie. Peter Rizak has served on the governance board of the First Church in Sterling for 6 years. And the governance board of the First Church in Sterling runs the entire organization. So while Peter may look humble, he is actually very important and and celebrated. Yes, he used to be. Pete has served through a new strategic plan. He's served through an associate pastor search. He's served through a pandemic. He's served through the aftermath of a pandemic. He's served through a protracted fight about parking and a moral emergency spurred on by an administration that threatens to upend democracy and the rule of law. Pete has taken part in so many of our ministries, from adult retreats to Sterling Community Theater, in which Pete and I, at one point, had to dance together. We both ran the church together and danced together as dance partners in the School of Rock. Neither of us can dance very well, but we killed it. He's also been to our medical mission to La Romana. During the pandemic shutdown, though, is the leadership that I remember the most. I will never forget Pete's framework for how to prioritize our mission during a time of sickness, of racial unrest, and economic stress. He chose the core Christian values of compassion, prudence, and courage to guide our decision making. He said we should always begin with compassion, to see our neighbor's suffering and to work to ease it, to act with prudence and caution, mitigating risks, and to act with courage, to reject either or dichotomies and bravely choose humanity over fear. This framework directly led to our Food is Love ministry, which fed tens of thousands of meals to people. Our remote learning center, which helped teach our children during a time when they could not go to school, and to reopening our church safely and with compassion and care. Pete went on to lead us through enacting a post-pandemic strategic plan, hard conversations with the Sterling Community Theater, helping to transition the Village Green Preschool to be more integrated with the church and in line with our mission, finally uniting our federated church as one. Not quite done, but on its way, yes. And passing a resolution for bold community action to respond to the current moral emergency in our country, among many other things. Unbelievable. His leadership and his legacy. Pete has been an incredibly supportive friend and boss to me as well, though he calls me boss. And he has helped shape my ministries in my ministry in ways I never thought possible. My favorite thing about Pete is that years and years ago, maybe 6 years ago or something, I posted a meme on Facebook that said something like, I need somebody to remind me like 5 times a day that they don't hate me in order to survive in the world. Like, I'm so anxious. And so Pete wrote me an email like a text message like every few days and just wrote, I don't hate you, Pete. And that has come to be the way that Pete and I tell each other that we love one another. So Pete, I just want you to know I don't hate you. Okay, now I'm passing this microphone on. Phil, who am I passing this on to? To Janet Madison.
Okay, this is going to be really hard to follow, but the person that I am recognizing tonight is also not here. It's Pat Kay, who has been, yeah, we all love Pat, and she has been a solid, Okay. She has been a solid and dutiful member of First Church for over 4 decades. This is a person to admire. She is so respected within this congregation and into the larger Sterling community. This is a person who talks the talk and walks the walk in everything that she does. She is genuine. She knows how to make good things happen, the epitome of we can do hard things. If we go through the timeline of Pat's involvement at the church, we'll probably all miss the dancing. So I have chosen to talk about the person as I know her. Pat first came to First Church serving as a church secretary, bringing her family along for the ride. When Pat left this position to take on with Heifer Project, she had the opportunity to travel serving people in the most severely economically challenged areas of poverty throughout the world. And in this work, not only was she and her team instrumental in building opportunities for the poor to rise above their poverty, but compassion to all of us to become aware and be part of that process. By the end of Pat's tenure with Heifer, she left a legacy by establishing a $10 million endowment fund, the first of its kind for Heifer, to assure that these life-empowering programs continue. Give a human being a fish and you feed them for a day. Pat's not here, but what I would say to her is, Pat, you taught human beings how to fish, and you have fed them for a lifetime. So I'm sure you're wondering what this all has to do with First Church. Well, as a result of her worldly experience, we all can't have missed being affected by her compassion for humanity. She has brought that sum total of herself to the work that she does here at church, spending significant time leading, in many ways, a decade or more of stewardship campaigns, probably a couple of capital campaigns, fundraising, developing special need programs, just to name a few. Pat is cycling off as the main lead for the stewardship campaign, and we thank you, a true unsung hero. So this may sound like Pat's retiring, but I have news. Pat has been asked to serve this congregation in the capacity as a member of the governance board. And Pat has accepted this offer for a 3-year commitment beginning July 1st. Way to walk the talk, Pat. Thank you.
Okay, the last person that we wanted to recognize is Phil Holman. Lost my notes.
Not much to say, huh?
One or two things. So Phil and Linda are going to be moving down to Falmouth this summer and leaving Sterling. They've lived here for close to 40 years, or more than 40.
1985.
Okay, so 40 years. Close to 40. Pat just went to his 40th reunion, so I know it's 40 years. So you raised your family in this church, and you've been on just about every ministry leadership team.
Well, mostly outreach and ops.
So for 20 years, Phil has been on the outreach team. You've done, or on and off, you've done the ops team. You founded the climate action team with others. You took over the Palm Sunday Promenade, and you turned that into the Walk on the Wild Side. You were a community organizer before we had a community organization MLT. You helped to develop the treasurer's auction, and Phil really inspired and pushed this team to have big dreams for the church, to reach out to his business colleagues, to have them donate to the church, and to really raise money for the church so that we could use it for our outreach opportunities. But I think that the real passion for you has always been the outreach area. And in this time, you know, spending 20 years on and off, I think we've seen that passion. I've only been able to see it recently, but as I started to talk to different people, that's what everybody was like, this is your passion. You were instrumental with IHN, you were on the board with IHN for many years. So I think that as we try to take that outreach team, we'll try to do you justice. But besides the many ministry leadership teams that, you know, Phil has been on, they've always been really extremely generous to the church. And we have to acknowledge the amazing contributions that you've made financially. Whenever there has been a significant need in this church, Phil and Linda and the Holman Foundation has been there to fill that need. Most recently, you put together the environmental assessment, funded that to look at the church, and were the most generous, largely the contributor to the HVAC system and the 5 mini splits that were put into the church to cool the offices. So Phil, you've been described by others as a fair person. You always bring your humor to every conversation.
Whether you like it or not.
You have the highest of ethical standards. And as Janet had said, you walk the walk and you live God's word. So thank you, Phil. It will take many of us to fill Phil's shoes. We thanked everyone. We just wanted to.
All of that was with Linda's permission.